in their last 6 games. Stephen A., are the Steelers now the team to beat in the AFC?
I don't think anybody can say with a straight face that the Steelers are the team to beat as long as the New England Patriots have Tom Brady and they're doing what they're doing. They're 12-2. They've had a bevy of injuries. They still have Brady. They've got Gronkowski. Edelman is supposed to be coming back. Amendola is going to be back.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I think he will be. Obviously, they've got some serious questions at their running game since both Deion Lewis and LeGarrette Blount are out for the season.
They did sign Steven Jackson.
That's right, and they did sign Steven Jackson. So you have that going on. I do believe that when you look at Brady with Gronk and those boys, they will be available. And their defense is opportunistic, and they know how to make plays when it counts most. And the road to the Super Bowl, in all likelihood, will have to go through Foxborough, which is going to make it even more difficult for a lot of opponents. I will say this, however. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have emerged as the biggest threat to the New England Patriots in the entire AFC. I know the Kansas City Chiefs have been incredibly impressive, and Andy Reid has done a phenomenal job with them, from their 1-5 start. He deserves to be commended for that. And they've got receivers catching touchdown passes now, and Alex Smith protects the football. He doesn't turn it over a lot. He deserves a lot of credit.
They force turnovers like crazy.
And they force turnovers, and for Jamal Charles to be out, and that defense with Tom Ali and Justin Houston and all of these boys, Eric Berry might be the comeback player of the year. Phenomenal story with him. D Ford showing up the other week and playing the way that he's been playing. You got to give a lot of credit where credit is due. Kansas City can't be ignored, and the Denver Broncos need to watch out for them. I feel sorry for Denver because they got the top-rated defense, at least until yesterday, and they weren't getting much help from their offense when it counted most. All right, and I think Chris Harris will make amends. Everybody ain't Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is the best in the game right now. I'm going to repeat myself. This brother's on another level. It is time we recognize how gifted Antonio Brown truly is. We always consistently said he was a top 5 receiver. Maybe he's number 1 when you consider what he does as a receiver plus what he does in special teams. So the combination of the two makes him just an elite force. But when you look at the Steelers' overall offense, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Roethlisberger is a future Hall of Famer. He's got 2 Super Bowl championships. Yeah. He's got 2 already. And he is balling right now. I think he's playing better now than I've ever seen him play. He's been incredibly impressive. D'Angelo Williams is not a backup. He was just a backup to an elite running back in Le'Veon Bell, but he is no backup. And then when you look at Bryant and his speed, and Wheaton and his ability, and Heath Miller with Antonio Brown, and an offensive line that hasn't had Pouncey for most of the year, okay, that seems to be coming together. In order to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to have to put up 28 to 30 points. You're not going to hold the Steelers under 30, in my opinion, when it really counts. These brothers are just lethal. So when I look at it from that perspective, I find myself saying, okay, who's the team that you can rely upon if they had to get in a shootout to deliver? That would be Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. You know good and well, if the Steelers are putting up points, Tom Brady and the Patriots are going to have something to say about that. They're just going to have something to say about it. Not to say that they can't be beat, because they can be beat. And the Steelers are capable of beating them. But I could see Tom Brady picking apart and shredding the Steelers secondary like they stole something. So because of it,
we did see that on opening night.
Well, remember they lost 28-21. It wasn't like, it was about 28-21, so it wasn't like it was a big blowout or anything. It was 28-21.
Brady threw for 288 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, well, let's see, he threw for 466 against Buffalo the next game. I mean, 288 and 466 is a huge discrepancy, okay? And we know that the Steelers are suspect of giving up touchdowns to tight ends, and they happen to have the best in the game in Rob Gronkowski when he's healthy. So all of those are impediments to the Steelers' success. But the Steelers' offense seems to have found their groove. And come playoff time, they may be even more lethal than we're looking at right now. They got to get there. They got to run the table, win their last 2 games. If them and Kansas City win their last 2 games, then the Jets will be on the outside looking in unless Kansas City wins the division and reduces Denver to wild card status, which is what's going to make that Cincinnati-Denver game so important to the New York Jets.
Well, but in the end, somebody's visiting the Jets next Sunday. I think it's Tom Brady.
Well, that's true, and the Jets have to win.
Yes,
and the Jets have to win. They've got to win that game. So we'll see what happens. But in the end, what it comes down to is this: the Patriots are still a team to beat in the AFC, but I think the biggest threat to the Patriots are the Steelers.
Okay. The only defense as a Patriot or Tom Brady supporter that scares me is Denver's. I just think it's still the best defense in the AFC. I think it's the best defense in football right now, even beyond Seattle's defense. Yeah. It is really good because it took every bit of Roethlisberger. And that throw he made to Antonio Brown, was it for the one of the late touchdowns? It was just a rifle shot into the end zone. My goodness.
Oh, yeah, it was this.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay.
And it was great route running because both him and Bryant ran the same route, so the safety had to pick and choose. And Ben Roethlisberger didn't give him a chance because he just rifled the ball right in there.
I do think that Malcolm Butler has come on so strongly that Antonio Brown would not be uncoverable against Malcolm Butler. I think Malcolm Butler could hang with him, not stop him, but at least slow him down. I don't think he would run wild or catch wild on Malcolm Butler.
Maybe not to that degree.
He will fight you and scratch and claw with you and do it straight up, not like the other guy. There's no trash talk. He just plays you, and he sticks with you. And I think he could slow him down enough that Tom Brady would throw another parade on that defense. If Edelman is reasonably healthy, Amendola reasonably healthy, and Gronkowski reasonably healthy.
Yes.
If it's at Foxborough, second round or championship game, whatever it ended up being, I still think I would give the edge to the home team in that one.
Well, I don't blame you for that, but what I would warn you about is that the Steelers have proven they don't need Antonio Brown to have a big game in order to win football games and put up points. Brian Wheaton Miller, D'Angelo Williams, them brothers can get it done too. Yep. And I think that Antonio Brown just accentuates how prolific their offense is, but he isn't the sole proprietor there. I mean, they've got some brothers that can really, really play. And when we saw Antonio Brown struggle, it's usually with Landry Jones or Michael Vick throwing the football. When Big Ben Roethlisberger is throwing the football, Antonio Brown doesn't seem to have a problem having a big game.
Okay, and all of a sudden, the Patriots' pass rush is 10 times better than it was on opening night. These brothers can flat out rush the passer. When Jamie Collins is healthy now, they just fly at you from all sides.
Well, I would tell you this, too. Remember, nobody breaks tackles better than Big Ben Roethlisberger. He may get sacked, don't get me wrong, but there are plenty of plays that he extends because of his own greatness.
Are you sure you haven't talked yourself into an early prediction?
I haven't talked myself into an early prediction, but I'm just telling you right now, the Steelers are a team to be reckoned with because that offense is big time. And by the way, Antonio Brown, 116 receptions, 1,586 yards. In terms of his receptions and compared to the amount of times he's been targeted, they've connected on 70.3% of the amount of times they have targeted this man. This is Antonio Brown that we're talking about here. And his last 3 seasons, Skip, what are we looking at here? This dude, what is it? 1,698 yards last year, 1,499 yards the year before. The last 3 years, 110, 129, and with 2 games left, now he's got 116 receptions. It is time that we recognize this brother's greatness.
And he lets his play do the talking, which I love. Correct. I hope we get to see the
Patriots
and no
more flipping in the end zone.
Be fun. No
more flipping in the end zone. He stopped at a few games.
Stay healthy. More First Take after the break. Stay with us.